Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is my fifth online lecture. Actually, we are taking the clinical classes in this way because of the corona crisis. Today, I will discuss on photographs that you may have in your exam in OSPI and Viva. This is Professor Mahmouda Hassan from Adlin Women's Medical College. This is first photograph. With this photograph, you may have following questions. Look at the picture and write down the positive findings. What is your probable diagnosis? Write down the principle of treatment of this condition. Again, look at the picture. Here, the examiner is pressing the dorsum of the foot, and after releasing, you can see the pitings. So, there is bipedal edema. And you can see the skin pigmentation as well. Skin pigmentations. So, bipedal edema and skin pigmentation. So, what is the probable diagnosis? Protein energy malnutrition, that is kwashiorkor. And the third question, write down the principle of treatment of this condition. You have to write down the 10-step management. That is the principle of treatment of protein energy malnutrition, either it is kwashiorkor or marasmus. Treat or prevent hypoglycemia. Step 2, treat and or prevent hypothermia. Step 3, treat or prevent dehydration. Step 4, correct electrolyte imbalance. Step 5, treat or prevent infection. Step 6, correct micronutrient deficiencies. Step 7, start feeding cautiously, including breastfeeding. And step 8, achieve catch-up growth. Step 9, provide sensory stimulation and emotional support. And step 10, prepare for discharge and follow-up after recovery. But for your Viva examination, you have to know the principle of treatment as well as the procedure. How will you manage the hypoglycemia? How will you treat hypothermia? How will you correct dehydration, correct electrolyte imbalance? You have to know in detail for your Viva, everything regarding all the 10 steps. Another picture, you may have questions like this. Look at the picture and write down the positive points. What is your probable diagnosis? Write down the principle of treatment of this condition and complications of this clinical condition. So again, look at the picture and the description is like that. Visible severe wasting, very thin, no fat, looks like bone and skin appearance. There is severe wasting of the muscles of the shoulder, arms, buttock and leg, and visible ribs. So severe visible wasting, and the muscle wasting is visible in the shoulder, back, buttock and legs, and there is visible ribs as I have told here, and hips look small to compare with the chest and abdomen. Look at this drawing. Hip looks small in relation to chest and abdomen when you see the child from the side. and look from side and see fat of the buttock is missing. In extreme wasting, there are many folds of skin on the buttock and thigh and looks like baggy pants. Here in extreme wasting, here you can see the lack of muscles in the buttock, and if in case of extreme wasting, you can see the folds of skin on the back of the thigh as if the child is wearing a loose pant, but this it seems to you like a loose pant. Actually, the folds of skins are visible due to lack of fat and wasting of muscles. Skin becomes loose and folds of skins are visualized from the back of the buttock, and it gives an appearance of baggy pants. So the diagnosis is, next answer is protein energy malnutrition, that is the marasmus. Don't say probably, it is written here, but actually it is nothing but marasmus. So you have to say protein energy malnutrition, that is the marasmus. Write down the principle of management of this condition or treatment of this condition. It is same as before, as I have described in the previous picture. What are the complications? Hypoglycemia, hypothermia, dehydration and shock, electrolyte imbalance, that is hypokalemia, hyponatremia, xerophthalmia and eye blindness, and infections like bacterial, viral, fungal infection. The baby may have hidden tuberculosis, anemia. These are all the complications of protein energy malnutrition. Both you can have it in marasmus as well as in kwashiorkor. Another picture or photograph, look at the photograph and you may have the questions like this. Write down the positive findings of this picture. At what stage of the condition is seen as per WHO, and what is the treatment plan of this condition? So look here, the answers. First of all, you have to know the different eye signs which you may get in vitamin A deficiency. You may get night blindness, that is the stage is XN, the conjunctival xerosis, that is the stage is X1A, bitter spot, stage is X1B, and the X2, that is the corneal ulcer, X3A, corneal ulcer and or keratomelastia when involving the less than 1/3 of the corneal surface, X2B when corneal ulceration and or keratomelastia involving more than 2/3 of the corneal surface, XS corneal surface scarring, XF xerophthalmic fundus and retinopathy. Let us look at our question. We have seen the picture and we asked for this stage. This stage is over here, X3A, corneal ulceration and keratomelastia. You can see here keratomelastia involving less than 1/3 of the corneal surface. No, actually it is more than 1/3. If you see the picture clearly, it is involving more than 1/3 of the corneal surface. So I have done a mistake here. So here X3B will be the answer. X3B, that is the corneal ulceration and keratomelastia involving more than 2/3 of the corneal surface. That is your answer. What is the treatment plan of this condition? Vitamin A supplementation 3 doses on day 1, day 2 and day 14. Local antibiotic drop, atropine drop, pad and bandage as there is ulceration, and vitamin A rich food for prevention. And after measles, you have to give 2 doses of vitamin A, and you have to give for prevention vitamin A supplementation after persistent diarrhea and in persistent diarrhea and in malnutrition. Look at the picture. Positive findings of this photograph. What is your probable diagnosis according to the WHO stages, and enumerate the stage, and how will you treat the child? That is the corneal scar. Corneal surface scarring. So XS is your answer. Corneal scar, as per staging, it is in XS stage. And the management is same as before, as I have described in the previous picture. That is this one. Vitamin A supplementation, 3 doses on day 1. That is, it is here also. Vitamin A supplementation, 3 doses on day 1, day 2 and day 14. Local antibiotic drop, that is atropine, and pad bandage as there is ulceration. And you have to advise the parents for vitamin A rich food. And the dose of the vitamin A, if the age is less than 6 months, 50,000 international unit. If the age is from 6 months up to 12 months, it is 1 lakh international unit. 12 months onward, 2 lakh international unit. Another photograph. Look at the questions. Describe the eye changes of this photograph. Enumerate the staging of eye changes, or write down the stage of the disease of this child. How will you treat the child? That is you have to describe the eyes, that is eye, how it looks. In the eye, there is a dirty white or silvery gray, foamy, triangular in shape patches seen in the conjunctiva, usually bilateral and in the temporal side of the bulbar conjunctiva. So it is white. Here it is white and foamy triangular. Look at here, white, foamy, triangular on the temporal side of the bulbar conjunctiva. So that is your description. So what is it? It is bitter spot. As per WHO classification, it is X1B. And how will you treat the child? You have to give vitamin A supplementation on day 1, day 2 and day 14, and advise the mother to have vitamin A rich foods, and after measles should have 2 doses vitamin A supplementation, and you have to give vitamin A in persistent diarrhea and in malnutrition for prevention of this condition. This photograph from front and from the side of the child. What are the questions? Write down the positive findings of this photograph. What is your diagnosis? Write down the principle of treatment of this condition. How will you investigate the child? With probable findings. So positive findings, as I have described in the first lecture, there is frontal bossing, parietal prominence, prominent maxilla, and malocclusion of teeth. Here look, frontal bossing, parietal prominence, frontal bossing, malar prominence, malocclusion of the teeth, and depressed nasal bridge. These are the 5 points you can see in this picture. So what is your probable diagnosis? Your probable diagnosis is hemolytic anemia, probably thalassemia. Write down the principle of treatment. You have to write down the only principle, that is blood transfusion, iron chelating agent, splenectomy, bone marrow transplantation from HLA identical sibling donor, pharmacological method with some drugs, hydroxyurea and other drugs, and gene therapy. How will you investigate the child? You have to do CBC with PBF and you have to write down the probable findings. I have already discussed in my first class, hemoglobin electrophoresis with probable findings, X-ray skull with the findings and DNA analysis, prenatal diagnosis of the thalassemia. But for this child, the CBC with PBF, hemoglobin electrophoresis and X-ray skull is enough for investigation for this child. You don't need to do the DNA analysis for this child. Another picture, photograph. Look at the pictures and write down three positive findings with probable diagnosis. Write down the important findings of urine examination. Write down the principle of treatment. So facial answer of the first question is facial puffiness with periorbital swelling, edema of the legs, ankle and pedal edema, and swelling of the scrotum with penis. Probable diagnosis is nephrotic syndrome. And regarding answer to the question number 2 and 3, I think it is very nicely written in your book and it has already described in your lecture classes. And questions are like that in your OSPE. Again, this picture is a little bit different. Facial puffiness with periorbital swelling, edema of the legs. You can see a pedal edema, ankle edema, as well as pedal edema, and huge ascites with distension of the abdomen. If the umbilical is visualized here, you can see the transversely slit umbilicus due to huge distension of the abdomen due to huge ascites. Another picture, you may have this problem, 11 months age child weighing 9.5 kilogram, presented with loose watery stool for 2 days. Look at the picture, write what are the positive findings in this picture, what is your diagnosis, plan of management as per IMCI. So here the baby looks lethargic and sunken eyes. If another sunken eyes, 2 points out of 4 when present, you can say the baby is suffering from acute watery diarrhea with severe dehydration. What are the other 2 points? Baby is not able to drink or breastfeed, and skin pinch goes back very slowly. These are the 4 points we have discussed in our lecture. Here 2 points are visible in this picture. The baby is lethargic and the sunken eyes. So you can answer the second question. It is acute watery diarrhea with severe dehydration. And third answer of the third question is you have to manage the child as per plan C. The age of the child is 11 months, so less than 12 months, and you have to give fluid intravenously until the baby can have the oral feed, and you have to give 100 ml per kg of Ringer's lactate solution or normal saline or cholera saline. How you have to give? You have to give, first you have to give 30 ml per kg over 1 hour, and then 70 ml per kg over 5 hours. And you have to give this much of answer. Don't mention how much fluid is required when the age of the baby is more than 12 months up to 5 years, because here in the question the age is specific, it is 11 months, so you have to treat the child that is given in the first column. Reassess the child every 1 to 2 hours. If dehydration status is not improving, give IVD more rapidly, and also give ORS 5 ml per kg per hour as soon as the child can have the fluid orally. Usually it takes about 3 to 4 hours after starting the infusion. And you have to reassess again and again, and at the end of the 6 hours of your correction, you have to assess and classify again the child, whether the child remains in child having this all signs of severe dehydration, or child having signs of sun dehydration, or child having no signs of dehydration. And subsequently you have to manage the child according to the severity of dehydration, whether the child is with severe dehydration or some dehydration. In that case, you have to give oral rehydration solution, and if there is no signs of dehydration, you have to give ongoing loss accordingly, and as well as you have to give family food with chira pani and green banana breastfeeding according to the age of the child. How much fluid you have to give? As the weight of the as the child is weighing 9.5 kilogram with severe dehydration, total fluid is 100 ml per kg, that is 950 ml in first hour, 30 ml, that is 285 ml in first hour. In next 5 hours you have to give 70 ml per kg, that is total 665 ml. So total time is 6 hours and total volume of fluid is 950 ml. You have to give over 6 hours. And you have to give zinc supplementation, nutritious diet, breastfeeding, complementary feeding according to the age of the child, green banana, chira pani, khichuri, etc. Another photograph. Write down the positive findings of this photograph. What is your diagnosis? Write down the principle of treatment of this condition. How will you investigate the child? This is the photograph of acute glomerulonephritis, periorbital swelling. I think this is very nicely described, and you have a lecture on acute glomerulonephritis, and so it is a case of acute glomerulonephritis, principle of treatment and investigation with probable positive findings. You have to describe, you have to answer like that. This is another photograph. White patches. This is Koplik spot. How will you describe? Small white papules found in the buccal mucosa against the upper molar teeth. And it is found in the prodromal stage, that is before the appearance of the rash in the body, that is in the exanthematous stage, that is before the appearance of the rash. This is Koplik spot. And you may have questions like this. What is the clinical presentation of this disease? How will you prevent the condition in the community? How will you treat the baby like that? This is another photograph. Here you can see the patches only confined within the tonsil, within the tonsillar crypts. This is, have a look, soft palate, uvula, tonsil and the tongue. Here the patches are yellowish or whitish patches within the tonsils only, not in the uvula, not in the soft palate. Here you can see the grayish white patches within the uvula, within the soft palate, within the tonsils, and the baby having bull neck appearance. Previous one is due to streptococcal infection within the throat, and here this one is due to diphtheria. That is the diphtheric patches. What are the difference between the patch within the throat due to diphtheria and due to streptococcal infection leading to tonsillitis? Patches due to diphtheria, it occurs over the surface of the tonsil. It occurs within the crypts of the tonsil. Spreads over the tonsil, also surrounding structures as I have shown in the picture, within the uvula, within the soft palate, etc., as well as it may extend into the hard palate or gum, like that. It spreads in the diphtheria. Patches spread in the surrounding structures, but it is here tonsillitis due to streptococcal infection. It is localized within the tonsil. Color of the diphtheric patches are grayish white. Here color is yellowish. If removed, it is not, diphtheric patch is not easy to remove. If removed, leaves raw area with bleeding, but the patches due to tonsillitis, it is easily removed. This is a photograph of a child with oral candidiasis. Here in the soft palate, within the uvula, soft palate, hard palate, within the tongue, within the lips, inner side of the buccal mucosa, everywhere there is card-like white patches over the all over the areas of the mouth cavity. This is due to oral candidiasis. Thank you all. I think this class will be helpful for you for your OSPE examination as well as your Viva examination. You have photographs in your Viva, so I think it will be helpful for you. Thank you, students. If there is any suggestion or any confusion, please try to communicate with me over telephone, as I have given you my telephone number, and for suggestion you can mail me in my mail ID. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.